And now, our number 4 of the line, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com, AndrewMcLeanWho.com, the Talk 99.5 app, and all the things. I could just, instead of telling you about the YouTube channel, I'll just tell you about the app because the app's got the YouTube video on there. Look at that. Look at that. I did last night. I posted John and Andrew go to Aldi on the 99.5 YouTube last night. So make sure you go there and check that out. Give it a like. Make sure you're subscribed and all that jazz. When you go to the channel, you got to hit the videos tab and you will see it there. The comments say Bird gives off serial killer vibes. Okay, yeah, go in there and comment and just show it some love, if you will. And I'll love you a long time for it. All right, I'm going to get to the phones. I see you guys waiting, so let's do it. 205-545-9950. I do want to piggyback on something from yesterday, and this is really, I mean, this is part of the peace talks, I would imagine. So Trump puts out pictures of the 8 Iranian women that were set to be executed, that were set to be hanged by the Iranian regime. And Donald Trump, again, posting their pictures and saying to the Iranian leaders who will soon be in negotiations with my representatives, I would greatly appreciate the release of these women. I am sure they will respect the fact that you did so. Please do them no harm. Would be a great start to our negotiations. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, with that, the international community or so-called human rights organizations were saying nothing about these women. Absolutely nothing. They didn't care. They were going to let the Iranian regime kill these 4 women. I mean, kill these 8 women and just be like, well, it's just the price of doing business. But Donald Trump, the president of the United States, spoke up and said, please do these women no harm. Well, guess what happened? According to the president on True Social, he says, very good news. I have just been informed that the 8 women protesters who were going to be executed tonight in Iran will no longer be killed. 4 will be released immediately, and 4 will be sentenced to 1 month in prison. I very much appreciate that Iran and its leaders respected my request as president of the United States and terminated the planned execution. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I said yesterday when I brought this up, I said, that simple tweet right there could very well save those women's lives. And it turns out it did. And it also shows that the individuals that were in charge, whether it's the government officials or whatever that were in charge of executing these women, they, in fact, want to make a deal with the president. They want to make a deal with the U.S. But I don't think the IRGC necessarily had jurisdiction over these executions. Maybe they did, but I don't think they do. I think these are probably 2 separate entities. So the separation between who can and cannot make a deal is probably still there. But this does signal some good faith coming from the Iranian side in the sense of wanting to make a larger deal. So great news. I mean, it's just fantastic news to hear that. And, of course, Donald Trump will get no credit for that whatsoever. Nobody will care. They didn't care that the women were going to be executed, so they certainly are not going to care that they just had their lives saved. But whatever. We're used to it. Alan's on the line. Alan, what's up?
Hey, brother, what's going on?
What's up?
I finally get to say Trump was wrong about something after 10 years. There wasn't fine people on both sides.
That's a good point.
You remember what I'm talking about in Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlottesville.
Remember, they always brought that up. Oh, he said there's fine people on both sides. Coming to find out, they were all disgusting liberals.
Yeah, that's true. It turns out the whole group was a bunch of liberals.
Yeah. And didn't somebody get killed during that altercation up there?
Yeah, a young lady got killed. Got hit by a car and got killed, and that was what created the whole hubbub. And
they did charge them with murder.
That's what I say. And I mean, going back to, as I stated, with the Southern Poverty Law Center, it was just months before Charlie Kirk got assassinated that they labeled Turning Point as a hate group. So there's two of them right there, just for starters.
And I got one more comment. I can't understand how in Virginia, did you see the exact thing that they voted on? How can that be legal? They basically said, we're losing, we want to win, so we're going to cheat.
With the gerrymandering, with the redistricting, or with
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous.
Did you see the actual statement on the ballot?
What did it say?
Well, it said basically that we're losing, and we need to do something, and we'll change it back in 2030 or something. But we got to do this now. We're going to lose.
Wow.
The government's getting taken over. Look it up. It's disgusting. I can't believe it's illegal.
Oh yeah, it's what's going on in Virginia across the board.
You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked when you see what it says. I can't believe it's legal.
Yeah.
All right, brother, we love you.
All right, thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, Alan. Let's look at it real quick because I didn't actually see what was on the ballot. So we'll just type in Virginia ballots and see what that says. Proposed constitutional amendment. The question is, should the Constitution of Virginia be amended to allow the General Assembly to temporarily adopt new congressional districts to restore fairness in the upcoming elections while ensuring Virginia's standard redistricting process resumes for all future redistricting after the 2030 census? So essentially, the question, should the Constitution of Virginia be used as toilet paper by the governor of Virginia so she can wipe her ass with it and throw it in the garbage? That's how I would have phrased it if I were the one printing the ballot. That is Orwellian. That is crazy. Restoring fairness in upcoming elections. That is pretty nuts. These people have no shame. You got to understand that Democrats have zero shame. They're I mean, when it comes to, being a communist, if you are in the United States of America and you want to ultimately turn it into a communist country, you would kind of want to hide in the shadows and accomplish that, right? But these people don't. They're just out front with it. Donald Trump responding to that election last night and saying that, quote, a rigged election took place last night in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. All day long, Republicans were winning. The spirit was unbelievable until the very end when, of course, there was a massive mail-in ballot drop. Where have I heard that before? And the Democrats eked out another crooked victory. 6-5 goes to 10-1, and yet the presidential election in November was very close to a 50-50 split. In addition to everything else, the language on the referendum was purposefully unintelligible and deceptive. As everyone knows, I am an extraordinary, brilliant person, and even I had no idea what the hell they were talking about in the referendum, and neither do they. Let's see if the courts will fix this travesty of justice. So there's going to be lawsuits filed in this case because of the confusion that was purposefully put on the ballot. I don't know if that lawsuit will be tackling the actual language on the ballot or what, but what essentially that does is that temporarily redistricts Virginia to where they had a basically 6 Democrat districts and 5 Republican districts to now they have 10 Democrat districts and 1 Republican district to make sure that Virginia can send as many Democrats as possible, which will possibly, shift the balance of the House in the upcoming election and the midterms, and then elections throughout 2030. It is quite ridiculous. I mean, what Virginia has done just over the past like 2 weeks is absolutely absurd, un-American, and unconstitutional. I mean, by the letter, unconstitutional. It's crazy that anybody can watch this and be like, "Man, that's fine. That's all right." If I am a citizen of Virginia, I am literally losing my ish because they have basically gone to their citizens and said, "Screw you, buddy. We don't care what you think. We're going to be, those of us in power are going to be picking the leaders from here on out." 205-545-9950. More show coming up right after this. 205-545-9950. Bubba says Governor I don't know if I can say that. Governor Spermberger, I think Spanberger, but he spelled it a different way. In Virginia is a CIA plant, former intel analyst, and once CIA, always CIA. That's a great point, by the way. She does come off as a plant. Walter says Supreme Court will rule against that. Let's hope so. Excuse me. And Tessie says, my friend's plate in Virginia. She's fed up. She's got a license plate that says RBLGAL. Is that Rebel Gal? I suppose. So, yeah, man, I can't imagine living in Virginia, dude. I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed. Highly pissed. Anyway. Moving on, let's tell you about, how about Mandu? Let me tell you about Mandu. I'll be at Mandu today. I got my Mandu session coming up at right after the show, actually, and they've been working me out, dude. But getting me where I need to be, getting me in a better mindset too. I started my cardio again. I kind of dropped off on it because I got so busy. And then I just kind of thought to myself, I'm like, what do you mean you're too busy? You're too busy to spend 30 minutes on the treadmill 3 times a week? I said, Andrew, you've got a point. So I'm going to start doing that again. And mixing that in with my Mandu, it just supercharges everything. It's fantastic. You already know 15 minutes in Mandu. It's a 15-minute workout. You get there, you put the suit on, your personal trainer tells you exactly what to do. And then you got a 15-minute workout in that is the equivalent of 4 to 6 hours in the gym. You got to think, man, when you go to the gym, you got to rack weights, you got to wait on people, you got to wait on machines, you got to do all this stuff. And at Mandu, it's just in and out. You're just in and out of there. And because you're doing what maybe would be kind of a typical workout, you're holding maybe some couple of dumbbells and, whatever's comfortable for you. They always make sure you're comfortable. You've got this suit on that's sending these electric pulses to your muscles, basically vibrating your muscles, working them out in real time. So it's like you're just getting the supercharged workout all crammed into 15 minutes. You're going to see results so fast. For those of y'all thinking that summer's coming up and you don't have enough time to get in shape or start seeing results, Mandu is where you can do that. I'm telling you, you will see results so fast, you will be shocked. And any advice that you need on what you need to be doing outside of Mandu, the trainers are more than happy to give you that advice, whether it's your protein or, whatever you want to do on the outside as far as cardio goes, like, ellipticals or treadmills or walking at the park. All of that will just supercharge the progress you're already making at Mandu. So here's what I want you to do. Remember, there's 3 locations. There's Homewood, Huntsville, and Tuscaloosa. You can go to any of them and have a free session. You just got to let them know Andrew McClain sent you. Try it for free. No obligation and no strings attached. You're just trying it out, seeing what you think. And then once you do that, you can decide what you want to do. You're going to love it, though. I'm telling you right now, you're going to love it. And if you sign up at one place and you decide, I'm closer to Tuscaloosa, I'd rather go to that one, that's fine. Go to any one you want. So sign up in Birmingham, sign up at Homewood, but yet you work in Tuscaloosa, perfectly fine. They'll make it work for you. Go to mandu.com, find all the information you need for all 3 of those locations, MANDUU.com. That's MANDUU.com. Don't forget to mention your boy, Andrew McClain. So, real quick, shifting gears. I guess it still has to do with what's going on in the Middle East. There's this picture floating around about an Israeli military member that was taking a hammer to a statue of Jesus in southern Lebanon. Remember, there's, military actions being conducted in Lebanon because of Iranian proxies that are firing at Israel, and they've been dealing with that for a long time. It's just one of these ongoing things that Iran has continued to prop up. They won't be able to prop up much longer because they're not making any money. That picture comes out and obviously shocks a lot of people. I mean, it's a disgusting photo of some idiot out here smashing what is a mural of Jesus on the cross, and so it turned into an outright scandal, as it should have. It got brought to the Israeli military's attention, and apparently now the Israeli military has jailed 2 soldiers over the Jesus statue desecration, and whatever punishment they get, in my opinion, is probably not going to be enough. What does it say? IDF has already sentenced two soldiers to 30 days in military prison for their destruction of the Jesus Christ statue in a Christian village in southern Lebanon. I'd just like to know, like, what was going through your head? Why were you doing that? That's pretty disgusting. Good that they're getting 30 days in prison. They should be kicked out of the military. I would hope they would be. There's also others that were there recording or standing by. Well, I guess maybe the person recording and the person actually doing the act were the 2 sentenced to prison. But they say there's others, I think 4 others that are under investigation, and they're going to be facing punishment. It says findings and conclusions of the inquiry into the conduct, this is from the IDF, of an IDF soldier who damaged a Christian symbol in southern Lebanon. The inquiry found that during IDF activity in the area of the Christian village in southern Lebanon, an IDF soldier damaged a Christian religious symbol while another soldier photographed the act. 6 additional soldiers were present at the scene and did not act to stop the incident or report it. The inquiry determined that the soldiers' conduct completely deviated from IDF orders and values. The IDF expresses deep regret over the incident and emphasizes that its operations in Lebanon are directed solely against the Hezbollah terrorist organization and other terrorist groups, and not against Lebanese civilians. From the moment the report of the incident was received, the IDF has been working to assist the local community in replacing the statue. Accordingly, it was decided that the soldier who damaged the Christian symbol and the soldier who photographed the act will be removed from combat duty and will receive 30 days of military detention. The remaining troops who stood by have been summoned for clarification discussions that will be held later on, after which further command level measures will be determined. Procedures regarding conduct with religious institutions and symbols were enforced to the troops prior to their entry into relevant areas and will be reinforced again for all troops in the area following the incident. Not a good look. Not a good look, if you ask me. But there you go. 205-545-9950. Ernest Financial bringing you this part of the show. RetireWithErnest.com. RetireWithErnest.com. Yes, sirree. God, I got the hiccups today, man. What's going on? What's going on with me? RetireWithErnest.com. You know about David Ernest. You know what he does. He protects your retirement. He helps your money grow. He helps you come up with a plan for retirement. All of those things need to be in place before retirement gets here. So if you're 55 or older and you got over 50K in your retirement, make this phone call. Let him know that I sent you and have all that put together. Have some peace of mind about your retirement because you may be floating through right now and being like, yeah, I hope it's going to be there when I retire. You won't have to worry about that if you call David Ernest. And as I tell you, it doesn't cost you anything. They don't get fees from you. You just got to make the call, have the conversation with David Ernest, and they start working for you immediately. Even if you just got questions, you want to call him and say, hey, I hear Andrew talking about this all the time. What is it exactly that you do? And he will explain all that to you, and it'll make you feel a lot better about it. You know, he'll fill you in on the details as to how all this works. So call him at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-7233. Online, retirewithernest.com. Retirewithernest.com. Yes. So the picture, and I don't want to go too far into it because it's, you can't pin an entire group of people's on one or a small group of people's actions, although it was pretty disgusting, and I know people will draw their conclusions from it, and that's fine. And if it's more of a widespread problem, we'll address that when it gets there. I mean, there are people that have certain views. I mean, whether it's, Judaism against Christians or Christians against Muslims or whatever, it's kind of a story as old as time. But it brings me, and I'm kind of segueing this for obvious reasons, but it brings me to Tucker Carlson. And I don't know, I'm sure Tucker Carlson has commented on that particular thing because that's, as we know, that's Tucker's thing now. But it was something else that Tucker had brought up, I guess, over the past couple days on one of his podcasts where I'm just like, it's his Marjorie Taylor Greene moment where it's, you kind of just, you've left the reservation. Like, we still were holding out hope for you that you were just having a moment and, you were just really against this war and you're upset about it, but maybe we'll get through it. Then you come back to reality and we can all be on the same side. I don't think that's happening. I think he's gone. I really do. And the reason I think that is based on these comments right here that he made about his past support for Donald Trump. He's sorry for misleading people into voting for Donald Trump. What's he sorry for? Is his preference that Kamala Harris had become the president? Is that what he would have preferred? That was the only other option, by the way. You're sorry that you helped get Donald Trump elected instead of Kamala Harris? Really? Really? Okay. I mean, if you want to say you're sorry that we got into an engagement that might ultimately lead to taking away nuclear weapons from Iran. We could go that route, or you're just saying, hey, I despise war no matter what it is, whether it's for a good thing or a bad thing. I just don't like it. I'm sorry for that. You can apologize for that, but apologizing because you told people to vote for Trump over Kamala Harris? Really? And now you're good. He's also claiming that he had no idea that Donald Trump held the position that he would never permit Iran to have a nuclear weapon. If that's what you're saying, if I'm sorry, but this is real. If you're saying that you had no idea that Donald Trump held the position that no matter what, Iran couldn't have a nuclear weapon, then you're a moron. Maybe, and I won't even call Tucker a moron, but because he's got the opportunity to clarify that. But if that's your stance, that Donald Trump didn't not only had this philosophy for decades, but also had this philosophy on the campaign trail, both in 2016 and 2020 and 2024, three times. If you're claiming you had no idea that that was a thing, you're not. You're lying. You're lying to everybody. I don't know how else to put it, or if Tucker Carlson's just willfully misleading people and trying to create something, revise history, or what, but the president's been clear. Not just through the most current campaign, but throughout his life of commenting on international issues. Like this is crazy. Well, we're now not just denouncing Trump, but we're denouncing our previous support of Trump and essentially saying we wish we would have gotten Kamala Harris. That would be Tucker's Butler was a hoax moment, which is what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing now. And I personally, that's probably what's next for Tucker. Tucker will probably come out and say Butler was a hoax. I mean, is anybody going to be surprised if that's what the conversation is on the next podcast? And I hate it. And I've said it over and over. I hate it, man, because I like Tucker. I like him. But some of this stuff, man, Tucker's a smart guy. Far more intelligent than I am. But there's just common sense stuff floating out there. It's kind of like, how are you missing this? How are you missing that? I had no idea. I had no idea that Donald Trump wouldn't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. Come on, man. Come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. By the way, the Southern Poverty Law Center memes are on point as of late. I'm looking at one. It's a shot of outside the outside of their offices. And it's Beetlejuice. Y'all know Beetlejuice used to be on Howard Stern all the time. And that meme where he's just kind of walking around, like looking around, and they're like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. Just hanging around. You seen that meme? Well, this is that meme, but it's in front of the SPLC offices. And Beetlejuice is dressed up as a Klansman. And you're like, what are you doing? Nothing. We're just hanging around. The internet's great, man. This is so good. That's so good. 205-545-9950. That'll get you in. If you want to be a part of the show, let's hit this break, come back on the other side, and keep it going right here on the line. All right. Real quick, Alabama Men's Clinic, then I'll get to your phone calls. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. Yes, sir. That's my guys that help out men with the low T. I don't care if you're 25 or 35 or 45 or 55 or 65 or 75 or whatever. If you think you might have low T, if you're struggling in the morning, if you're struggling in the evening, if you're struggling in the middle of the day, if you're cranky all the time, if you just can't find the energy, and as guys, man, we got a lot we got to do, man. We gotta balance work and home life and everything else, and you got to have the energy to do that. And if you got low T, you're not going to be able to accomplish it. You're just not going to be able to keep up. Then there's the side of the intimacy in the bedroom and keeping your wife happy and all that kind of stuff. All ties back to low T. So what I want you to do is simply get tested. Get tested to see, let them do the lab work, see where your testosterone levels are at, and then at that point, you can make a move. Make a move, decide what to do. They come up with a plan specifically for you. And these guys are laid back, man. They're so easy to work with. They make you feel comfortable because this is nothing to be ashamed about or embarrassed about. These guys are just fantastic, great guys, and I know they're gonna help change your life, change how the way you feel all the way around. So reach out to them at this number, 205-598-7000. Make sure you tell them I sent you. That's 205-598-7000, or set yourself an appointment online. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. Let's go to Jose first. Jose, what's up, buddy?
Hello, Andrew.
Jose, what's up, my friend?
Long time no talk with you. I'm a 75-year-old, very weak man.
Oh, man, 75 already. I feel like you're a young, spry individual.
I tell you. Listen, I picked up on your comments about destruction of the Jesus statue. Are you aware of the priest that was killed by a Israeli tank crew?
When was this? Is this a recent story?
On March 9th, 2026, they did a double tap on a house. They hit it first, and then people, including the priest, went to help the injured people in the house, and the tank crew fired again and killed the priest and injured other people or something like that. You can Google it and get the details on it.
Okay.
But the reason I'm calling you is all this about destruction of the statue, and I haven't heard any word about this incident of anybody answering as to why the priest and the people that responded to the attack were attacked again, you know?
Yeah, it says Lebanese Maronite Catholic priest on March 9th in southern Lebanon injured while tending to parishioners at a house hit by the IDF. Yeah, I see that.
And I haven't heard anything about investigation on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I need to look into that and see if, in fact, that was. I would imagine it would be investigated, but there's no telling. So I'm gonna do some research on that though, because the Pope even put out a message about it. Pope mourns Lebanese priest killed by IDF.
Yeah, and it's been over a month, and I haven't heard anything about any investigation or anybody having to answer as to, why they fired when the responders were there trying to help people. I don't know, but I just thought I'd share that with you.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that and kind of see where that's at as far as an investigation goes, because that's over a month since that's happened.
Right. Okay, I'll let you go. Thanks a lot.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from you, Jose.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Little line trivia here for you. Jose was the first ever listener to give me a gift when I was in radio. It was actually when I was leaving my first station. He gave me a couple hats that I still have to this day. I still have them on my shelf in my home office, believe it or not. EC's up next. What's up, BC?
Hey now. What's going on? Hey now.
Hey,
man. I just heard Jose, and let me tell you something about that deal there. They've been double tapping in Gaza over and over for the last 2 years. Hospitals, churches, what have you. They've been doing. These Israelis have been doing this stuff, and nobody covers it. No American station covers it. Radio stations don't cover it. Our proud 99.5 doesn't cover it for some reason. Why did they cover the crucifix he's talking about? It's all over TikTok. It's all over YouTube. It's right there. But none of our stations are covering. I don't get that part. And the other thing, there's a lot of things I could talk to you about. You're talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene a minute ago and Tucker, right? Well, anyway, they're like, I feel the same way they do. I voted for Trump every single time he ran and wore his attire, his hats, everything. And I put all that stuff. I might have told you I put all that in a big box. It's put away. It's not open here. Not going to be open for a while. It's just put away because he didn't have to attack Iran. That's you mentioned a while ago that we got rid of their nuclear weapons. They didn't have a nuclear weapon, Andrew. See, this is the way it builds up. They start putting stuff out there. The fake news started putting stuff out there that Iran's 2 weeks away from a nuke. They're 3 weeks away. Bibi Netanyahu's been doing this. He's been doing it for 20 years.
Well, I haven't heard anybody accuse them of having a nuclear weapon. What they have is almost 1,000 pounds of 60% enriched uranium. Which once it gets to 80% enriched uranium, then they can make up to 10, 11 nuclear weapons, which they would absolutely use against our troops or whoever else.
Well, so that's questionable. I mean, why don't we ever talk about Israel's nukes? 200 to 400 nukes they have. Nobody ever mentioned it.
Well, I would actually be happy if only America had the nukes. That would be my preference, honestly. But
you got me in another topic which I like to talk about. There's another bill. I told you about HR 8445 where we were going to pay these American/Israeli IDF soldiers the same pension that our men get. I told you that about a month ago. You remember? That they had a bill that actually failed. It actually failed last year, but that bill's dead, but they can reintroduce it again under a different name or title, whatever. But they've got a standing bill waiting right here where Israel it's called the American-Israeli Joint something Security Act or something. I don't remember the exact name of it. It's a 20-year bill, whereas we're going to pay Israel probably double what we're paying them now, $3.3 billion, whatever it is, that's automatic every year that goes in their banks, wherever, and they spend it any damn way they want it. They got free education, they got free housing, they got and then they had this HR 8445 that was going to give them the same pensions as a soldier. Why are we doing this? I just don't get it. And the other thing, Andrew, was that security thing I'm talking about, 20-year thing. They're going to work alongside with our top security people for our defense system. It's a joint effort. Why in the hell are we going to have Israel working jointly with our security? And you got AI coming. You got, why would you trust Israelis, what I'm trying to say, when they won't even admit they got 400 nukes? They're not signatory to the Atomic Commission, whatever it's called, that America's part of it, Britain, every other nuclear country that's got nukes is a signatory to it. Iran was signatory.
Did we just lose? We just lose EC? I got you, EC. That was a lot. That was a lot. Well, I'll just say that. And I've got about 60 seconds left in the show, so I'll have to address it tomorrow. But I guess if I can tackle one issue in particular, I mean, when it comes to Tucker, I aired my grievances, which was, why are you acting like you didn't know Trump was not going to allow Iran to have a nuclear weapon, which includes enriched uranium, which they've made clear they want to ultimately turn into a nuclear weapon. I can't, you don't have to trust Israel. If you don't trust Israel, I ain't even mad at you. I don't even blame you in some cases. But I'm also not going to trust the group of people that are constantly chanting death to America with a nuclear weapon. Noto Roofing, NOTLroofing.com, NotoRoofing.com, 205-848-2299. Get that free roof inspection, cuzzo. Get it taken care of, man. It's important. Make sure you tell them I sent you. NOTLroofing.com. See you, cut.